It's time to render your movie. So you should have your set built, you should have an animation inside, something moving. So here I have a very basic animation just to show you. And you should have something a little bit more complicated, I guess. So the first thing you're going to check before you start to render is that you're in rendering mode up here. And if you go render, and if you go batch render settings here, you're going to check that you're going to use all available processors so that your computer is able to actually do this and run fast. Okay, so close that, and also go to render settings here. Okay, so if we come up, make sure you're rendering JPGs, first of all. Each time you render an image, for every frame, one image was going to be rendered. Okay, and afterwards you're going to turn that back into a movie, but you first have to render image by image by image. So if you have a really long animation, this is going to take some time. So what's important is that you give each image a different name. So you're going to go name and then a number, and it will automatically assign each image a different number in order. Frame padding, that is, so for example you have 48 frames, you're going to give it a frame padding of 2, that's 2 seconds. And then what frame you want it to start rendering on, 1, and maybe I want to finish mine on 51 here. Also check that you're rendering from your camera. And this is the sizes, 72 resolution, that's fine, it's going to be on a screen, don't render it bigger, it's going to take too long. And that's all good, so close that. Now you're ready to actually render. So I'm going to go render and hit batch render here. So I've actually already pressed that, and what's happening is you'll see this down here on the bottom right, and that's actually rendering. So you can see that's the percentage of each image being rendered. Now I'm going to have 51 photos because I have 51 frames. So that will automatically save to a folder that will have been made for you. So that for me is in documents, and then there's a Maya folder, projects, default, and it will automatically save in images here. So you can see I didn't actually name my project, so whatever you've saved your file as is going to give it that name, and you can see each one has a number here. So I'm almost done. I've almost got 51 frames rendered. So that will take a long time. I recommend not doing that in the middle of a lesson, doing that at the end of a lesson and then leaving that to render, or just going to have a cup of tea if you're working at home. Yes, and in my next tutorial I will show you how to put that back together into a movie.